Hello everyone. So for the 20th meta principle, so play where you are strong. This is a seemingly rather obvious meta principle. However, you should always keep it in mind lest you fall victim to inexact play. So this meta principle also serves as the basis of many principles, as almost all meta principles. So when you have a superiority in terms of space or number of forces, the best way to take advantage of that, channeling the Steinitzian law, which we'll take a look at later. Steinitzian law meaning the law that when you have a positional advantage, you must attack. So the best way to make use of that advantage and superiority in terms of space or number of moves is to attack on the side where this extra something is located. Now this something need not be space or number of pieces. It could be a passed pawn, a pawn majority, or even a superior minor piece. So this meta principle helps explain why one should mobilize the pawn majority at all costs. And so where one has more pawns and a potential passer, one should play because that is where they are strong. Next section. So when does this principle not apply? This principle does not apply in the rare instances where you have to play on the weaker side for specific reasons or due to meta principle number 10. So these are the few cases where the principle does not apply, where the meta principle does not apply. So for the associated principles, first associated principle, avoid opening the position on the wing where your opponent has more space. So don't let your opponent play where they are strong. Second associated principle, attack only when you have a positional advantage. This is the Steinitzian law we talked about. So this is clearly related to this meta principle. It actually puts a direction to the play part of the meta principle. When the word play is used, it is meant that the side with the advantage should attack and take the initiative. Third associated principle, let the direction of the pawn chain guide your attack. So the pawns point to the side you have a space advantage on. Indeed, that is why we should play in the direction they point at. Also related is when the center is closed, attack on the wings, and a wing flank attack is best met by a counter attack in the center. Fourth associated meta principle, don't open the center when your king is in the center. So don't play where you are weak. If your opponent is castled and you are not, you will likely get checkmated before you'd be able to make use of your pieces, which would be better served when the center is open. And fifth associated principle, do not move pawns on the side of the board where you are weaker. Again, this is an obvious principle / corollary, which we'll take a look at in the next section. So the obvious corollary here is that one shouldn't play where they are weak. If you're getting attacked on the king side, don't bother replying with pawn moves on the king side. If you do, you'd be making weakening moves and wasting time, which could be used to increase the power of your counterattack. Instead, when getting attacked on the king side, counterattacking on the queen side is usually best. Usually. Alright guys, so for the famous game. So this is a game played by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, none other than MVL against Wang Yu. So if we go a bit ahead, okay, here we notice white has a nice pawn over here on e5. It's pointing toward the king side. This pawn chain was as such, so it's pointing toward the king side. That's the pointing rule we will take a look at much later in this book. So this tells you where to attack and play where you are strong because your pieces are well poised to initiate a kingside attack. So play where you are strong. We will see this in action. Black is trying to maneuver toward the queen side, but white goes ahead and sacrifices over here, making use of this queen h7 check idea. So he plays where he is strong. And soon enough, some nice tactics happen and white wins. So yeah, this is how MVL played where he is strong. So for the other example section, so this game starts out as a stonewall attack by white over here. And yeah, his pieces are positioned toward the king side, right? Same for this queen. Potentially this rook can be lifted. G4, G5 can be played. So white is not going to play on the queen side where he is weak. He's going to play where he is strong. So he initiates that. And for an online blitz game, this game was actually quite well played, except for one minor part of the game. And notice here there's this mate threat. So black had to sacrifice this knight to avoid that. And the conversion was pretty cool. But black even got some chances. It's funny how online blitz works. Like this game. Yeah, here of course he could have taken the queen, but he missed that. And yeah, soon enough, here actually the conversion is back to being good again. Here black is completely lost even though he has a queen. There's no perpetual. Yeah, and the whole point of this game, play where you are strong. So remember that, guys. With that, take care.